home alone, do you do this? Or even this? No, I know, right? Well, thing is, she didn't tell me right away. If you do, then, like me, you may have maladaptive daydreaming. What is maladaptive daydreaming? Maladaptive daydreaming is when someone can create a daydream that is so intense that they can become quite lost in it and even sometimes start to act it out. Now, when I say act it out, I don't mean get up and dress up and put on a performance. I mean, you can be sitting there daydreaming and then start to speak the things that you are saying in your head or the things that you're daydreaming in that situation. If you want to know more of the medical side of maladaptive daydreaming, then click here, because I can only go from my personal experiences. So when I was younger, maladaptive daydreaming really did play a part in my life. I didn't realise how much it was affecting me, and I didn't even know what it was. I just thought I had quite an active imagination. My mum could never understand how it took me hours to get ready for school, but that was because the first hour was taken up with my daydreaming. Yeah. Now that I'm older, I've learnt to work around it and have it not affect time scales and deadlines or what time I have to get up and being late for things. So it doesn't really affect me in adulthood. However, saying that, I do set time aside for it. So when I'm home alone after work, I will put my headphones in and I will create a daydream, and I can be there for hours. Really, until I'm disrupted. And I don't mind being disruptive as long as I actually have an amount of time to do it in. And if I don't have this time to myself, I find that I can be quite irritable or hyperactive and irritate other people. So that's my experience so far. I only found out what it was called recently. Before that, I didn't tell anyone because I thought I was losing my mind. Now, maladaptive daydreaming can often be caused by childhood trauma. However, I had it before anything traumatic happened in my life, and it just continued after that event. So I definitely wouldn't say it was caused by that. What else it can be caused by is perhaps loneliness or just being alone a lot. And I was an only child, and none of my friends lived by me. As much as I would have sleepovers every week, I was often on my own, so I would just kind of have to make my own entertainment. I didn't mind it, I really enjoyed it. And it didn't affect me, it was just very fun. So I think that's where mine came from. So there's nothing to worry about with maladaptive daydreaming. They say it doesn't mean you're losing your mind, it doesn't mean that you have got psychological problems. If anything, they actually describe it as an ability. So much like a superhero, I guess. We can create these worlds and really get so lost in it that if something happens in it, you can actually be reduced to tears. And I didn't think that had ever happened to me, but looking back, I remember when a character in my daydream died and I was weeping. Now, the differences between a maladaptive daydreamer and someone with schizophrenia, for example, is schizophrenia are voices that you cannot control, and when perhaps your reality starts to infiltrate your fantasy, you won't realise which is which. And also you can often not snap out of schizophrenia. Maladaptive daydreamers know the difference between fantasy and reality. They know what they're doing is just a daydream, they know it's not real, and if, for example, with me, if I am daydreaming, such as usually when I'm walking home or when I'm home alone, if perhaps my boyfriend comes home or somebody approaches me on the street, I snap out of it straight away because I know that I'm just daydreaming, whereas this is real. These people approaching me now are real. So that's the difference. Now, they say maladaptive daydreamers have the ability to create worlds and stories that are more intricate and detailed than a book or a movie. Because they're so personal to the maladaptive daydreamer, it can provoke more emotion and it's far more interesting to them than those two media sources. And I totally agree with this. So if you have maladaptive daydreaming, what I would suggest is check this out, do your research, and just know that you're not the only one, because I thought I was going mad and that I was one of the only people that had this, or one of the only sane people that had this. What's wrong with me? Nothing. Nothing's wrong with you. And I just wanted to let you know that there's other people with this, and if you think you've got it, comment below, because I've found that so many people seem to have this, and it's only just become a recognised condition. So check that out, because a lot of the time maladaptive daydreaming has been diagnosed as something else. So it's definitely worth doing your research, and I hope this has reassured you and that you know you're not the only one. Thanks!